This is Sports Drive.
Welcome back into Sports Drive. Once again, I'm your host, Preston Moore. I mentioned earlier in the show we would be talking about WT women's basketball right now. Joining me to talk about them is their assistant coach, Will Sherman. Coach Sherman, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Excited to talk some Lady Buff basketball. You guys are obviously coming off of a win over Angelo State on Saturday, gearing up for a big game tomorrow, rivalry game tomorrow against Eastern New Mexico. When it comes to preparing for this game, you know, you've already seen them once, but now you're going to get to see them in Canyon. How are you guys preparing for this game?
We're preparing the best we can. They got us at Eastern when we played them last month, and I think our girls are going to come out and be hungry to kind of change that and get revenge.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned that they got you last month, but it was a furious comeback attempt that you guys had, down by over 20, had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to score. Talk to me about, you know, is there a little bit of attitude of really wanting to get this win? Obviously, you want to get any win, especially a rivalry win, but considering how that last game went and how it ended with so close to that win, right, being in front of you guys, is there a little bit extra momentum, a little bit extra motivation going into this game to say, hey, we really, really want this win?
Yeah, I think so. I think that it just really puts in that you can't overlook any opponent, that anything can happen on any given day, too, as well. What happened, I think, at Eastern was also a little bit of a turning point for our season. That weekend when we went to the New Mexicos, we just played a little bit differently, more confidently. Not in the first half against Eastern New Mexico, but definitely in the second half. And I think that intensity and that level of focus has just started becoming more consistent for us since that week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in this game, obviously, when it comes to WT versus Eastern New Mexico, we all know that this is a rivalry game. You know, it's a big deal, obviously, for a lot of the athletes at the school. It's a big deal for the WT community as well as the Eastern New Mexico community. What's that like when it comes to playing in this game? Obviously, you guys saw each other in Portales once, but now you guys get to see each other now back in Canyon. What is that anticipation like? Is that, you know, is that game more heated every year as it goes on, or how does that game look for you guys?
I think for us it's a lot of excitement because it is so personal with the fans too. The community here really kind of circles that game in Lubbock Christian, Angelo State, as games that we want to win. When we went to Portales, they had a good crowd there, and we traveled pretty well there too, and it just adds a little bit more energy to the game. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done when we were in Portales, but it's an exciting opportunity to get it done in front of our home fans on Thursday. And with the Maroon out, there should be quite a bit of buzz in the atmosphere tomorrow night.
Absolutely. When it comes to this season, you mentioned that last Eastern New Mexico game was a turning point for your season. You guys have done pretty well since that game, winning 4 out of the last 6. What have you liked about the team in these last 4, 5, 6 games that you've seen that maybe you want to build on going forward as the rest of conference play is coming up and nearing the end of the season almost?
Yeah, I think just our defensive intensity. We got to get better at it. But there was a turning point that we were more locked in every single possession than we have been, and the more and more we could do that, the tougher it will be to beat us. I think our offense has pretty consistently been good throughout the year, but just defensively, just making it extremely hard on opponents to score. And so that's one thing that I've been impressed with our girls. And one thing that we did a good job of during the beginning of the year is at times we played defense, but now we're playing really good team defense. When one person is moving, the other person is following behind and covering them. And this team is starting to do that every single possession. Once we make that a habit and it's consistent, it's going to be tough to beat us.
Absolutely, and you know, we're certainly looking forward to seeing the rest of the season for you guys. It's not quite over yet. After Eastern New Mexico, you still will have 5 games remaining on the schedule before the LSC championship tournament. What are you looking for in your team over the course of these next 6 games to end the season? You know, what are you looking for to hope that you can pick up 6 wins to end the season and end the season strong?
Yeah, well, everything's still in front of us. There's a lot to be complete in the seeding of the conference tournament and regional spots to be got for the NCAA tournament, and just to stay consistent with the course and finish out. We'd love to get all 6 of those wins and go into the conference winning 7 in a row. But just to be consistent every single possession and to just keep getting better every single day and compete. And that's going to put us at a good spot at the end of the season. Just continue the girls have stay together for the last 3 weeks and to see what happens, have fun. And it's been a great season for us so far. We, of course, want to be in a different position fighting for the conference championship, but there's always a chance when you get into the tournament. You never know what can happen.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have had a handful of, I can't even say a few, a handful of strong players on the team this season. A very well-balanced team, it feels like, to me at least. But over the course of these last 6 games, again, you mentioned that turning point, that last game against Eastern New Mexico. Over the course of these last 5-6 games, who have you noticed on the team, stepping up in leadership, maybe stepping up in their play on the court? Has there been any players on the team who have kind of caught your eye over the course of these last couple games?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a guard in our conference playing as confidently and as good as Carly Machenbacher is. She's locking down on defense. She's making sure everyone's in the right spot. She's finishing possessions with rebounds. She's crashing on offense. She's doing so many little things that might not show up on the stat sheet, but she is setting the tone for our team.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a fantastic player, and we're certainly looking forward to seeing the rest of the play as the rest of the season remains. Coach Sherman, once again, thank you for coming on the show, talking a little bit of Lady Buff basketball, and best of luck tomorrow night against Eastern New Mexico. Looking forward to the game.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Sports Drive right after this break.